All right, here we are outside working on the C10. Today, gonna put the exhaust manifolds on. Already got one side on, as you can tell. I got my bolts finally, and there's the other side for the passengers. Got my gaskets, and there's gonna go on. Gotta make sure I remove paper I put in here, so I didn't want anything getting on the inside in there. I've been working on it. All right, so you can tell I got a few amounts of gaskets for it. These are the ones that it came with. They're very thin and kind of flimsy and like, I don't know, not good quality material. So I bought the ones from Jegs, and these are definitely thicker and better material. Hard to do this with one hand. All right, so I got them out of the package. As you can tell, these are a lot thicker compared to those. These are just nicer. All right, so there's multiple ways you can set up your gaskets and your bolts, but I like to put everything together first. So I like to put the bolt through, and then I like to put my gasket on. Make sure you get all your dog hair out of there first. Boom, just like that. And then I'll put it against the engine. But yeah, you can, some people, they just do the bolts, kind of bolt it down and get everything in place first, and then they just slide their gaskets through. I like to just do it this way. That way I know it's in place and it's exactly where I can see that the gasket is exactly where I want it, and it's all the way down, and it's not up and down or crooked or anything like that. Right now it's perfect. So I'll get the other sides done, and then I'll attach it to the engine. All right, in your with your gaskets for your exhaust manifolds, you get one that looks like this, and then you get one that looks like this with the extra loop on the side. I don't like the extra loop, so I usually just cut it off, and that way when it's on here like that with the exhaust manifolds, it's not sticking out, and I just don't like the way it looks, especially if you're gonna try and make your engine look kind of nice. I mean, something so simple, you can just cut that off and it won't have it sticking out. Tightening down the middle ones first, get everything lined up. Just hand screw it in so I can catch it. There you go. All right, I got all my bolts hand threaded in slightly. I got my gaskets in, as you can tell. It's a gasket in place right there. Same with the middle one and the end one. All right, time to tighten them in and torque them down. Once I get them pretty tight, I'll I'll go back and torque it down to the spec. I gotta still look that up, so I'm not too sure what that is right now. I was looking at it earlier. I don't remember. I gotta double check. All right, got my torque wrench for this specific Chevy 350. The torque specs for the exhaust manifold bolts is 25 foot-pounds. Already double checked to make sure my gaskets were all lined up perfectly still. And I'm gonna torque everything down. Make sure if you're doing this that you have, what kind of heads you have. Depending if it's cast, aluminum, whatever, your torque specs might be slightly different. So let's torque everything down. All right, now we're gonna hook up the exhaust to the exhaust manifolds. Hooks up right here. And there is my exhaust. And I got some new gasket and some new hardware to hook it up. So what we're gonna do is this gasket goes right on here. Just like that. And then that's gonna hook up to the exhaust manifold right there. All right, so this is the bolt that's gonna hook up to the exhaust manifold. As you can tell, we got one side that looks like this, a little shorter threads, longer threads. Shorter threads go up into there and they screw in. All right, got my bolts in the bottom of the exhaust manifold right there. As you can see from the bottom, I told myself when I installed the starter that it was a better idea to put the starter in first before the exhaust manifolds, and the exhaust turns out it might be a little tricky. I'm gonna try and get it in there first before I take the starter out. But yep, so this comes up all the way up here, and I'm just gonna lift it and bolt it in right there. All right, so I got the exhaust hooked up to the manifold right here. Obviously it's not tightened down all the way. I just like to make sure that while I'm doing this that I tighten it down evenly from all 3 points and the one in the back. So I was able to get it on with the starter in the way. I just had to remove this one right here so I could fit the pipe up in there, and then I put this back on once it was up in there. So now I gotta tighten it down all the way. As you can see, you got the gasket right in there, and the reason for tightening it down slowly or evenly, instead of just tightening this one down all the way and then that one down all the way and then that one down all the way, is so you have an even seal for the gasket right here. As you can see, I can still move it. So all right, I'm gonna tighten these down and we'll be done. All right, I got my bolts fully tightened down. Now I got the gasket sealed evenly all around, and I just gotta bolt the exhaust support right there back to the frame, and same with the other side. And that's pretty much it. So that's how you do an exhaust install for the manifold and the exhaust pipe connection right there. The reason I don't have new exhaust is, to be honest, I couldn't really find anything that I wanted or liked right away. So just putting the old stuff back on. I like dual exhaust out the back. I think it's pretty cool on this thing. So this is how it's looking. Chevy 350 on a 1964 C10.